No, because I'm honestly in this boat. I'm an idiot with this shit. What the fuck is an NFT? And I'm dumb. Sorry. My bad. What is an NFT?
It stands for non-fungible token. I believe the word can change. We used to call social media Web 2.0. Like, it could change. So don't even get caught up on it, but that's the term. What does it actually mean? It means that you can absolutely show and verify that you own something digitally. You own it.
Long time.
But it's I'm actually fascinated to see what you're doing in this whole fucking NFT space.
I thought it'd be
whatnot.
cool. I'm so excited to sit down with you,
Thank you,
bros,
brother.
because this whole everything going on right now, I think it's just so cool that we just have a fucking combo about what's happening in this fucking digital world right now and everything going on. I'm so interested.
It's interesting because it's the
I'm so interested.
It's interesting because it's the first time it's been like this since 1996, 97, 98. Like Web 2, which John for sure, Bob for sure, you in the newest version of it. Web 2 kind of hit in 05, 06, MySpace, Friendster, then MySpace, and then quickly MySpace, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and it all kind of popped off. But there wasn't like scary, like I don't even understand what's happening vibes. It was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, can I watch like Family Guy on this thing called YouTube? Weird. Web 3 is like seed phrase, cold wallet, NFT. Why did somebody just pay $400,000 for a JPEG of a rhinoceros with like a flame up its ass? Like, it's so confusing. And the last time it was this confusing was 1995, 6, 7, when you had to tell 20, 30, 40-year-olds, no, there's a thing called the internet. And like, what are you talking about? Like, no, you talk to people on AOL chat. Like people were confused, and you guys are young, so you're very young. Like it's been a good long time. 25 years since something came along, which is the blockchain. Now, obviously it's been around, right? Bitcoin's been around, Ethereum's been around, but now it's consumerized, meaning everyone's aware of it. Like a lot of people have heard the term NFT. They don't know what it is. A lot of people think it's a scam or this and that, but like everybody thought the internet was a fad. Like everybody listening right now on the other device that you're attached to, just Google the internet is a fad and read unlimited articles by the Wall Street Journal, by professors, by real legit people saying, no, this is gonna be gone in 2 years. And that's what you're hearing right now about NFTs. Like, this is money laundering, this is a fad. And like, granted, I personally, and I put out this content every day, believe 98% of the projects right now are going to zero.
Yeah.
Where does it like become like a scam though? Where does it become where it could be?
Bob, there was on OpenSea, which is one of the biggest marketplaces where you buy and
It's the
sell.
eBay of NFTs right now.
Yeah, it's the eBay of NFTs, and there was over $1 billion in transactions last month. But what's crazy is there's less than 2 million wallets on there.
There was $1 billion in transactions in the last 4.5 days on
Right.
OpenSea. There was $1 billion last month because people were tax harvesting, so there was less action. As soon as we flipped the new year, the first 6 days of January, there's been $1 billion.
With less than 2 million people.
It's too new and complex, which is why everyone thinks it's a scam, which is why everybody thought the internet was a fad. This is like some, like going the man to the moon things.
Crazy.
Here's a little thing that's interesting. To John's point, there's a digital image. It could be known as a collectible. A Jackson Pollock sells for $100 million. 50 years ago, 70 years ago, people thought that was just splashing paint in the Hamptons when the Hamptons wasn't the Hamptons, out bumblefuck New York, and worth nothing. So yes, there's the collectability. The big thing with NFTs is there's a contract attached to the image. The smart contract, verifiable, by no server, by third party, right? That's the punchline. What you put in that contract is what's interesting. So for example, with VeeFriends, I knew I was launching it super early. I knew that I wanted to finally build my WWF, because I'll always call it that instead of WWE, my Pokemon, my Disney, and that I wanted to spend the next 40 years building these characters. Empathy Elephant, Patient Panda, right? Flexing Fox. That I was gonna do this, that I wanted that creative IP. I was gonna build my Transformers. But because I knew it was so new, I decided to put in the contract that it's also a ticket to 3 years of VCon, which is like one day eventually, what about 1% royalty? What about if an NFT represented 1% royalty of this?
So one
end, you can get shit. Like, it's okay. Just because you're 31, but your buddy's making $1 million on NFTs or your best friend's girl's making $4 million on TikTok, you don't have to feel like a piece of shit. We're in the first quarter. Jets were beating Tampa 24-14, late fourth quarter. They lost.
Right.
Just because you're not winning at 23 or 27 or 32, you're not finished. And by the way, what's winning?
Well, when is it time to panic?
70?
When is it time to start
70.
panicking? 70. So
70. Because fucking Colonel Sanders came out with some KFC shit late.
So
Grey Goose, you know that thing you
70
flex?
years old, it's time to panic at 70.
Yes. If you're watching right now and you're 70 and
you're-
you suck shit, maybe panic.
Pack it in.
But if you're
Pack it in.
but on some real shit, because you guys know your audience, there's some people watching right now that are 25
Yeah.
and they like feel sad because they're not a millionaire. That's fucking asinine.
I think it's simple as
That's a good point.
if you're still breathing, you got a shot.
Well, that goes back to the last point of like, but what's success?
Right.
Like this whole, like so many people really believe that money is the unlock and they were really, really wrong. They're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They just are.
So how have you and Ruben, because I always see Ruben's always attached to your name. How have you and Michael been partners in different ventures?
So I'm on the board of Candy Digital, the
Okay.
NFT company.
Yeah.
And it's been great. I mean, Ruben, he's a guy.
The best.
He's a guy, he's an you know what I like about him is he's an actual operator. This goes back to kind of the theme of this show. Like, if you can't operate, the reason 98% of NFTs don't have to fail. The reason 98% of NFTs are gonna fail is 98% of the founders of these NFT projects can't operate.
How so?
Well, let's see. What you guys have done here with this lovely thing, you need to know how to operate.
Right.
You need to know how to have a conversation with a wholesaler. A lot of people know how to create demand. But to actually turn that into a business, that takes an operational skill set. Ruben's a fucking operator. Like, Fanatics is a real company. It's not like ha ha ha. And like, obviously, I'm proud of my operational skills, and that's why we have a lot of optimism on what Candy's going to be. And Candy's like Dapper Labs. You know, they've got the NBA highlights. Candy's got baseball, NFT rights.
Yeah, can you talk about Candy a little bit more? Because I don't
Yeah.
even think I've talked to Kyle about Candy.
I know.
Yeah, so Candy's a platform, Candy Digital, and much like Dapper Labs that has NBA Top Shot, which I'm heard of, Candy won the rights to baseball's digital NFT rights and will continue to go and gobble up sports rights to sell sports official NFTs. So if you want next year's Mike Trout or Wander Franco or Vlad Guerrero's real NFT, that's going to come from Candy. Just like the real baseball card comes from Topps. Oh, by the way, Ruben and Fanatics just bought Topps.
Have like leagues and teams really capitalized on like the utility of NFTs yet, or not?
Not
really?
fully.
They've just sold like NBA moments yet.
Correct.
Right?
You're going to get to the place where one of the NFTs represents a 3-minute FaceTime with your favorite basketball player. That'd be cool. Yeah. Let me buy this NFT and I'll be on with,
or like the exclusive club in the Staples Center where you need the NFT.
Everything that was a wristband
as an NFT
and a stamp and a ticket will be an NFT in a decade.
We went to a basketball game the other week, Kyle and I, and we're like, courtside soon is going to be holders one day.
100%.
Holders only, or
you know
can
why?
only buy them
you know
if you're
why?
a holder.
Because you'll be able to lease that NFT, you'll be able to resell it. The NFT is a collectible. A ticket for Jordan's first game, the stub, Michael Jordan, sold for $260,000 like 2 weeks ago. That's going to eventually be an NFT. And by the way, the Bulls in the NBA would have made money on it. This time they didn't, because that's how the collectible works now. But on the blockchain and royalties, like the world's about to change. Listen, if you're watching right now, I have so much understanding to why you're like, fuck this money. You know, I see every post, right? We're very social out, the four of us. So anytime Hypebeast, you guys, anybody posts anything, Bob, everything is like money laundering, scam. That's the same shit that
idiot.
they
I get called idiot all the time. When I bought that Bored Ape, everyone's like, "You're an idiot." I just right clicked and saved it. Now I have your thing, and I didn't spend what I spent.
But what's so funny is because they don't even understand the technology. They don't understand that a blockchain exists. Just like everybody told me when I launched WineLibrary.com in 1996 that nobody would ever buy wine on the internet. Ever. As a matter of fact, most of the smartest people that were millionaires that talked to me to teach me something told me nobody would buy anything on the internet. Forget about wine. This is so stupid, Gary. You're going to fuck your dad up. I've known your dad for 20 years. This is people coming to me in 1995. I've known your dad for 20 years. He came to this country with nothing. You're about to ruin him and put him out of business with this silly computer thing. People are not going to buy wine on the internet. You have to come to the store and touch it. most of the people that are saying scam, money laundering, they weren't around in 1995 as a grown-up to watch this conversation, so they don't have the pattern recognition to know when something comes along that changes the entire world. Most people react to, fuck that. And the ones that don't, make the bag, make the legacy, enjoy the process, and that's what's gonna happen.
How do you think this space could crumble if it ever did?
Well, it's definitely, in the macro, it won't crumble because I'm completely convinced that the blockchain is now here to stay. But again, internet stocks in 2000 all went to zero except a couple. Like literally, Bob, again, you're a youngster now.
Shut the fuck up.
Brother, in March of 2000, all these internet companies were worth billions. You might have heard of pets.com is the famous thing that is referenced. You're real young, so I'm going to break it down for you. 95, the internet starts coming.
We only got 9 years, by the way.
I get it. 95, the internet's starting to come. By 99 and 2000, all these companies are public, but they're making no money, but they're worth billions, making no money. All of a sudden, kind of like how markets work, the market decided, wait a minute, this is bullshit, and the whole thing crumbles in March of 2000. Amazon goes from whatever it was to like a couple dollars. If you'd bought Amazon in March and April of 2000, I actually asked my team today in a meeting, I'm like, can you tell me what would happen if you bought Amazon for $1,000 worth of Amazon in April of 2000 at its lowest point? What would it be worth today? The number's staggering. That's gonna happen with this. Do I believe that VFriends or Bored Ape or Punks or the best stuff, Xcopy, Beeple could go to 10 cents of the dollar that's now down 90%? The answer is yes. Do I personally, secretly can't wait for that moment so I can take my USD, buy my Ethereum, and buy up the shit that I decide did a good job in the first 100 days of the carnage? Operationally, it's the fucking moment of my career. I can't wait.
So you think even the big projects are going to tank?
Yes, because when the entire market tanks, everything tanks. So something's gonna happen because there's too much greed right now. To your point, like every influencer, like these, I don't understand what these influencers are doing. I don't understand, first of all, they're not disclosing. Like I'll give you 1,000 to pump my fucking stork. Like, okay, like I don't understand. Like people are so fucking obsessed with short-term money that they do such dumb shit.
But you think that'll make even the big projects crash?
I do. That is my prediction. Because here's why. I'll tell you why, what I learned. Because everybody thinks, because a lot of people are so confused by the whole thing will go. Right? Like it's the internet stock thing.
What's better, right? Like, let's just say someone that's in our world
Right.
is getting paid $200,000 to post something. They don't know that they were that much different than us, where you and I are spending, Kyle and I probably spend, no exaggeration, 12 hours a day, every day, talking about how are we going to do this and how we're going to do this
As you
right.
should.
And they don't know that, right? And they don't know that someone's got paid $100,000, $200,000 to post some bunny thing. You know, they don't know we're getting offered or Steve's getting offered. Steve will do it. We're sitting at a UFC game. Some guy sitting next to him, so I told him, give you $1 million to promote this NFT thing.
Fucking crazy.
And he called me. He's like, this idiot did this. You know, I'm saying no, Johnny, but let's do this. Let's do this right. You know, like.
He's like, this is no, but what the fuck?
Yeah,
It is
but-
tough to
so
turn
what
down.
makes
But it's
very
tough.
tough.
$1 million.
So then what's the
listen,
investigative process then for an influencer right now that's getting these offers to do a brand deal, right? What does it make? So say somebody offers me fucking $10,000. Bob, I want you to post something for $10,000. What's the investigative process that I have to do to
You
make
gotta
sure
understand
Bob's
that's
going to
legit?
hit up all the NFT
Yeah,
pages
we
Like, I'm
gotta-
ready to
but
go.
Bob, listen,
Guys,
you
for
gotta-
anybody looking, I'm in. I'm ready.
Bob, first things
I'm
first,
gonna
though.
take this fucking thing right now. I'll take the quick bag. I'm
Bob,
in.
the first things first is you got to understand the space first, right? You got to understand it's day one. The last thing that anyone wants to do is be blacklisted or canceled from the crypto NFT space when it's day one.
People know how to become rich. People don't know how to get wealthy. Rich is you take the 10,000 for the quick bag. Wealthy is you never compromise your name in perpetuity so that you can win in the end. That's it. That is the market right now. And 2% know that game.
So how do you
not-
know when it's a good promotional deal then? How do you know for an influencer that's coming up to you right now if you want to pump an NFT, right? So because guess what? There's a lot of fucking influencers right now that are out there. They're like, hey, you know what?
I don't think people really care, man.
No, but they're taking the deals. Back to his point.
When you say who
I mean,
doesn't
I'm
care-
saying the majority of people don't care. Like,
Yeah,
from the
that's
people
right.
I follow, the only people that I really like, that I'm friends with, that I think has an understanding is like banks or something. But
Yeah.
everyone else that promotes it just, they don't
But
understand
it's
it.
like
So they're
anything
just
else,
like,
right? Like we
they don't see the future. So they're like, why would I turn down
You know what
100K?
combo we're having right now that I want everybody to hear, because I think 10 people watching and listening will take this little nugget and run with it for the rest of their lives, and we'll see the four of us in the places because they're going to hear it and we'll talk about it. What I don't think the world knows is when you do dumb shit like take 100K to promote something that you have no idea, you may trick the 98% of the world and get your 100K. But every time you do that, you're losing equity with the 2% of the people in the world that actually fucking
But
matter.
it's still going to happen, Gary. It's still
Of
going to
course
happen.
it is.
They're still
happening
going to
now.
do it. It's happening right now.
I don't think you
So-
understand what I'm saying though to that point. To that influencer that I'm trying to talk to, cool, you made 4 million this year, but you're gonna make 7 million in your entire life because you're gonna continue to degrade your brand and your reputation. And if you didn't, you would get to 72 million. It just would have taken longer.
But I'm going back to this. I'm going to keep bringing it up. I'm in the 95% probably of influencers that don't understand the NFT space.
So do the
and when
homework,
I get a
Bob.
brand deal, but I'm saying if I get a brand deal, it's like,
Bob, the answer is do the
I
fucking
think
homework.
you got to do homework and try to get ownership
My-
in a,
my
in a-
answer-
in
my
a
an-
successful project, aka ours.
I'm
Or
in.
Gary's.
Bob,
Let's
Bob,
go.
Bob, the answer to your question, because this is so exciting, is the answer to my question is, do you want to promote some medicine that you have no idea what it is? I'm asking you, Bob.
do I want to promote
Medicine.
Are you going to give me? Am I an influencer that
You're getting 100.
No,
racks,
Bob, I'm
though.
talking to you. I'm going to give you $100,000 to promote this pill that makes you thinner.
Sure, why not? If I say yes,
Yeah,
Bob's a bad guy though.
no,
Yeah.
but listen, here's what I'm saying. That's fine because this is America and Bob should do what he's going to do. I'm going to say to Bob as a friend when he calls me twice a year when he needs me, Bob, the reason you're in such a
15
shit
times a
spot.
year, sometimes on FaceTime or just
Fair
my
enough.
family.
Fair enough.
You know?
I'm just trying to help you there. Bob, the reason you're losing is you took the $100,000 for the thing you didn't fucking know.
All right. Well, how do you know? What if it's a good deal? Like, how do you?
What's
know?
a good deal? Anytime you promote some shit that you have no fucking idea what it is, that's a bad deal.
Okay, so how do they do the investigative process to figure out if it's a good deal or not?
First, you have to. I can tell you I have
Well, you
put
got
in.
Gary, you got John.
I know, but I'm not talking
Kyle?
about Gary and John sitting in a room
Well,
like us. I'm
well,
talking to
how-
the
One
average
of us
person.
three. I
who
think
has
one of
enough
us
people
No,
three
that
you're
can
not.
understand
You're
it.
not
You have
talking for the
Dana?
average. You're not
You
talking
have
for.
one
You're
of
not.
us.
You're not talking to the average
I'm
person.
talking about
no,
if you're-
no. You are not an average person. If somebody offered you $100,000
All
to
right,
promote,
so I'm fucking JohnnyFuckingBones.com, and I've got 90,000 followers on fucking Instagram.
Yep.
Right, and I get a promotional deal and say, hey, we want to give you fucking 2,000, pump our NFT thing. I got $1,000 in my fucking bank account. I need the $2,000,
Take
right?
it.
You're saying take it.
I did.
Okay.
Just like I believe somebody that's hungry and has nothing should steal food from a fruit stand.
Okay, but that's
I get
also
it.
going back to your point saying that it's
What-
killing the market.
Nope,
at
nope.
the
The
end of-
market's listen. The macro greed is going to take down the market. I'm not worried about the person that has 1,000. First of all, if you have $1,000 in your bank account, but you're getting offered $2,000 to promote something, you fucked up.
Right.
So like that scenario doesn't exist, Bob.
Okay.
Like right? Unless
Well,
you
nice.
made 200,000 and you just buy dumb shit 24/7.
Right. Okay. I'm just, I'm asking. I'm just.
No, listen. I actually, what you're doing is amazing. You're helping people right now. I know what you're doing.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I
is
know
I'm
what
trying
you're
to- I'm
doing.
trying to think of
What
like-
I'm trying to bring
I'm
with
trying to
my-
think outside the box. Instead of having a podcast with everybody that has everything and has everything, what I'm trying to do is relate to the average person that's watching.
I know exactly
that
what you're
may
doing.
not have.
But I think the problem and what I'm trying to do with my passion equal to, because I know what you're doing and I'm trying to do the same thing,
Yeah.
is suffocate compromise.
Mhm.
Like I don't know what to tell you. Like doing the wrong thing is the wrong thing.
Right.
Like taking $10,000 to promote something you spent 0 minutes investigating that because people it's the reverse of what I'm doing or you guys are doing when you reply to people. You take $20,000 to promote a fucking NFT project that you know nothing about
Right.
because you know other people that are watching you are going to spend $800 to buy it. So you're going to take $20,000 so that all your audience loses its $800. That's not going to work out.
Okay.
Well, it's like what happened. I feel like a lot of these NFTs are just like pretty much like a new version of those shit coins that
That's
were
exactly
around,
what
right?
they are.
Yeah.
I think the best move though for
People
anyone
are just ready to throw $1,000 at anything.
And everything's going to go. and
Anything.
Bitcoin, because it's fucking Bitcoin, is going to keep doing its thing. And guess what? There'll be 10, 5, 9 NFT projects that will be here in 2037. VFriends is going to be one of them. I'm going to clip the shit out of this right now. What I just said, in 2037, Bob's going to look terrible. And in 2037, I'm going to clip this shit and it's going to be there and it's going to be a fucking monster. And little kids in fucking Brazil are going to be wearing fucking Patient Panda fucking backpacks because I'm going to spend the next 15 years making every fucking person on earth give a fuck about my characters because I got that in me. But a lot of people won't do that.
Do you reach out at any time your shit that you're pumping with your NFT stuff to any influencers to get them to pump it?
Of course not.
No.
He doesn't need
I don't need it.
I don't know. Yeah. Again, guys,
As a matter of fact, I did the
brand new to this
reverse.
fucking
Bob's
shit.
trying to get a
Sorry.
brand deal right now.
I was gonna say, Gary. Can we talk?
He's like, yo, for 10 grand, I got your next one.
I did something very weird, Bob. I didn't because I wanted the people that fucked with me the most to win the most. I so knew that I was going to win that I launched in May, which is like 1 trillion years ago.
How many did you launch? Like
10,255.
Did you sell them all at once or in phases?
One shot. But unlike most projects where you don't know what you get and it's like opening a pack, you knew which character you were buying with me.
And what did they initially go for? 2,000?
So I did a Dutch auction because I didn't want gas wars and people pounding it. So they went for all different prices. They were from 3 ETH to 0.5 ETH. And at the time, ETH was about $4,000. So more than 50% went for 2,000 a piece. At the height, some went for 10,000 on day one.
Wow.
But for example, somebody sold an ape from my world yesterday for $200,000 that they paid $8,000 for. Right? So like, but I knew that I wanted my audience to make, because I was so confident, instead of my rich friends or my influencer friends, I was like, you know what? I'm going to put it out there. I was definitely not under the radar. I was everywhere. I was like, I'm doing it. But I didn't call anybody and say, you have to, because it was hard, because it was mine. It's like, yo, and especially in May, it was like, and Herm's here, he fucked up. I was with him on day launch.
Herm
I'm like,
gave me his DraftKings
he
sweater, by
fucked
the way.
up so bad.
Herm gave me his DraftKings
Herm
sweater.
fucked up so, he could have made millions, but instead he's got a good beard. And so so it was hard for me to say buy this because in May, you think NFTs are fucking crazy to people now in January? May of last year was like
God.
fucking,
Yeah.
I thought it was the stupidest thing ever.
and now you're like, wait a minute, exactly.
I think what really throws people off is they just think it's a photo
Correct.
of a fucking, like I said, like an animal that looks like it's on Molly. But when you realize that it's a digital token that's going to give you access to shit, and as the world just goes more and more digital, you don't know what that access is going to lead to.
How do people not know that they have a child or a sibling or a niece or a nephew or a cousin that is spending unlimited money on Fortnite and Roblox and Minecraft and NBA 2K and Madden points on digital flex, digital access? Farmville was 10 years ago doing hundreds of millions.
SimCity.
Crazy.
Do you know how many upgrade video? Like I watch people literally shit talk on NFT. I'm weird. I do my homework when I'm trying to get Bob to do. I see somebody say this is a fucking scam, then I click it and I look at everything they've said ever, and sure enough, I can go back 9 months and see that they paid $100 for power-ups of their little mobile game. The fuck did you do that for? Why'd you pay $100 for something digital?
But that's giving you a utility. So I think all these other
Correct.
projects are confusing people because it's like, it's just a picture of a cougar.
Correct.
Like, what am I getting?
Correct. Meanwhile, people don't say that about spending $600,000 on a Michael Jordan rookie card, even though in 1945, nobody thought cards were worth anything. Comic books sell for millions of dollars when they're Spider-Man or Superman or Batman #1, but everybody thought it was stupid to pay $500 for them in 1965 when they were originally 10 cents. People always shit on things that are collectibles, VHS tapes. Who would have ever thought? People aren't good at history. If you look at history, it will tell you the future. That's what this shit is.
What's your opinion on, like, everyone's talking about it now is kind of different as like the metaverse?
I think it's too early.
Yeah.
I don't think enough people live in VR 24/7 to make it pop off the way people think it's going to, which is why I haven't bought land or gone in yet. It will come, but I'm very big on timing. In 2016, I bought Ethereum because I understood that it was a platform, not a currency. I liked it. In 2017, I looked at CryptoKitties for 5 minutes, and I was like, this is too early. I don't see normals collecting this. In December of 2020, I looked at CryptoPunks, and I looked at Top Shot, and I'm like, oh shit, the normals are coming. And that's when I went in and did my 100 hours of homework in January and February and just shut down January and February. This time last year, I was shut down, 15 hours of reading, listening and watching. I don't think we're there on the metaverse. I don't think everybody here is like, can't wait to get home and put on my VR set and fucking chill. But I don't think it's as far. I don't know the timing. I never guess timing. I just move fast when it happens.
Because I know one question with the, like, a utility of an NFT could be like, it's...
Are we good?
No.
Do I have to go?
No,
That's what I'm talking. When do I need to leave?
We'll wrap it up.
Cool.
Now. Wrap it up. We're good. We'll wrap
When
it
were we
up.
supposed to be there?
Knicks?
What's my calendar say? Yeah.
We'll wrap it up. We're good. We usually do an hour.
I'm
We're good.
fucking enjoying the shit out of this. I just was like,
this casual.
No, we're good. You got
There's
somewhere to
also
be.
a few things I want to
Rapid fire?
Yeah.
You want to do a 5
What
minute?
does my calendar say? Leave at 7:15? 7?
What time is it right now?
7:28. 7:28.
Really?
Gary, see how...
Or either the two of you going to do something?
All right, so here's the deal. Wrap it up or?
No,
Yes,
no.
please.
All right, perfect. So here's the deal. John, you want to wrap it up or Kyle?
No, I want to know more about Fly Fish Club.
We, tomorrow of the filming, you guys are going to air this after, so this happened last week. I'm launching with 3 partners, Connor, Roddy, and Josh Capon, a very epic chef. We're launching a token that is your access to a private restaurant club. Think Soho House, think Zero Bond, think country clubs where you pay your dues to buy in, and you buy the token, and that gets you into, but it's your asset. Unlike Rayos, where you buy the table, you can't resell it. With Fly Fish Club, you buy the token, you can come, we're gonna open in New York, and obviously expand Vegas, LA, Miami's our ambition, Europe, London, Paris, over the next decade, but this is your token. But we can add value to it, virtual events, pop-ups at the Masters, pop-ups at the Super Bowl, pop-up. It is the whole game. So I'm leaning into utility while everyone's
So
doing
it's a
pictures.
physical location
It's a
here?
physical location.
When does it open?
Late this year, maybe Q1 2020.
Crazy.
And can you only get in if you have the
You
token?
can only get in if you have the token.
Wow.
That's the
How do I
future
get
of
the
restaurants.
token as an idiot?
So
Tomorrow,
buy it.
do you have an Ethereum wallet?
Yes.
Good. You buy one tomorrow.
Buy one tomorrow. Got
Yeah.
it.
Oh, here comes the text.
Here it
Transfer me
comes,
Ethereum.
Johnny, give
1
me
a.m. I'll
1,000.
get up to go pee, and I'll look at my phone real quick.
Hey, that's
Got in the
that's a different
Ethereum.
reason. That's a different reason.
Gary, what are some of your favorite NFTs that are outside of the V world?
I love World of Women. I think it's the biggest miss of everyone. It's the first significant, epic, dominant, female-only project, like female-only. And I think long-term, like 7 years from now, 15 years from now, when the world's in, they're gonna be like, oh shit. Just like CryptoPunks or Bored Ape or VFriends, this is the blue chip of the early days of female. And so I see all the powerhouse female executives that I know in the business world and just all those female ninjas, they're gonna gravitate to World of Women. I think World of Women is massively underpriced, long term. And again, everybody watching, 90% of you that are in the game, you're trying to flip in an hour. Like, don't use this clip to like try to buy it for 3 Ethereum and sell for 4. This is long.
Yeah.
15 years, 3 years, 9 years. So World of Women, I think, is really interesting. Subducks.
Okay.
Frankie's
yeah,
a real
yeah,
guy. He's
really.
been in the game for 4 years. You'd love him. He's like one of you guys. Like, he's fucking cool as fuck. Real designer. He's in it for his life. I think he's got a really good project that's slightly underrated.
Okay.
AJ, my brother, who's fucking, him,
Yeah, of
like
course.
really fucking smart. Like I've got a little
Vayner
bit more of the
Sports.
intuition, but he's got more of like the black and white, like ninja. He's been on Doodles for a while.
Love Doodles.
And so now that's very dangerously close to becoming maybe the next, could that be the one that actually becomes the next Bored Ape? Because it's getting hot right at this second. So that's expensive.
He and I just bought some Doodles. We bought some Doodles, Alien Friends, and In-Betweeners in the last week.
Invisible Friend, it's got a lot of hype. I really like X Copy for the very wealthy watching long term. That feels safe to me. Trying to think of something inexpensive. Look real quick. I know we have to go. Let me look at one little inexpensive thing to make sure I find something that brings value to the masses. Give me 1 second. Just looking at literally right now, the top selling projects. Creature World. I think Danny Cole is one of the coolest fuckers.
love that one.
He's a real artist. Like, he's like, when it's funny, when I met Danny Cole, I'm like, oh, this is kind of like the kids that, like, when I met you and your bro, you guys left. This is like 1 trillion years ago. One of my shitty
11 years
offices.
ago.
Yeah. You guys left.
That was a beautiful office. You're not there anymore?
No, we're way different.
Wow.
You guys left, and I turned to the team. I said, those guys are going to win.
Well, thank you.
Right. And so, I guess Danny Cole, to that point, is that kind of guy.
Cool.
So those are some of the ones that stand out. King Frogs, which is a derivative from Subducks. I am so happy for the most creative people in the world because the NFT blockchain infrastructure is going to unleash levels of
Allows it.
creativity that we've never been able to see.
I can't wait for Bob to call us with his idea.
Listen,
No more.
I'm silent but deadly.
I know you are. That's
You're
why
a
I can't
silent
wait.
Bob.
I can't wait for
Silent
the
Bob.
calls.
Gary,
No
you're
more.
the fucking man.
I gotta go. I love
so
you guys.
much.
Take care.
All right.
Love you.
Thanks, Gary.